What is up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Dragon Ball Media, and today we're going to count down our top 10 moments from the Dragon Ball Heroes series. Now this is going to come from the entire series, from the manga to the actual anime. And I know a lot of people haven't really paid attention to this series, but even if it isn't canon, this top 10 might change your mind on giving it a watch, as it has some of the most insane moments throughout the entire Dragon Ball series. This list is going to be made specifically from my personal opinion, along with some of the input from the fan community, and just from some of the more popular moments throughout the series. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's begin. Number 10. Golden Cooler. So within the Dragon Ball Super series, we see Frieza join forces with Universe 7's team and show off his new incredible power-up known as his Golden Frieza form. It has an insane power boost, and he's able to stand toe-to-toe with Goku when he turns into his blue form. So you already know this golden form is no joke. But what happens when his older brother Cooler gets a showcase to it? Well, it's pretty insane. Within the anime, we see a huge battle between Goku, Vegeta, Trunks, and Cumber, as Fu is standing by doing annoying things that Fu does. We see Cooler approach and power up to his insane golden form, pretty much similar to his younger brother Frieza's. Not only is he able to showcase some of his power by delivering an insane punch that knocks Goku down, but we also get to see him deliver a golden supernova ability that is insanely powerful. You know, even if it doesn't do anything to Cumber, I thought it was still, it'll look cool. This series is pretty insane when it comes to its characters, power levels, and power-ups, and this just goes to prove that Cooler of all characters returns since we last saw him in the Return of Cooler movie, sporting his then Meta-Cooler appearance. But it stands no chance at all to the power level Golden Cooler has, and it's one of the more powerful transformations or techniques within the series yet. Number 9. Finn's appearance. This might be one of the most interesting powerful characters throughout the entire Super Dragon Ball Heroes series. Within the complete revival chapter of the manga, we already have some pretty crazy stuff going on. First, Mechikabura, which is the Dark King, escapes from the Time Labyrinth, which is not a good thing since he's insanely powerful. Then you have Omega Shenron, Toa, and Dabura battling Gogeta. And just when it seemed like it couldn't get any worse for the Saiyans, Toa spawns the purple Majin creature known as Finn. And what's insane about this creature is that it's one of the first Majin fighters we see within the anime or manga that wasn't Boo, and boy is this guy strong. He's able to easily subdue Gogeta at the time and even absorbs the fighter. Oh yeah, not only does he defeat Gogeta with ease, but he also defeats Omega Shenron of all characters. Yeah, Gogeta, Omega Shenron, Dragon Ball Heroes doesn't mess around with the characters they create or bring back. Finn also lands a fight with Zeno Gogeta, which is a pretty good back and forth battle, so you already get a feeling of the wrath and power this Majin character has. We end the complete revival chapter with Finn absorbing the present-day Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, so who even knows what lies within the character throughout the rest of the series. But if we've already seen him absorb some of the strongest fighters to date, while also defeating the legendary power levels like Gogeta and Omega Shenron, then Finn is definitely one of the biggest threats to the Z-Warriors the show has seen so far. Number 8. Super Saiyan God Zeno Trunks. Yeah, you heard what I just said. I told you at the beginning of this video that Dragon Ball Heroes doesn't mess around. Trunks not only gets a Zeno form within the show, but he's also a Super Saiyan God, and he's a badass one at that. As I mentioned earlier, Mechikabura is one of the main protagonists within the series so far. Having him escape the Time Labyrinth and harbor his Time Power form, there's really nobody that's able to stop him. Unless, of course, we're not mentioning the Super Saiyan God Zeno form of Trunks of all people. Mechikabura is able to stop most of the Zeno Trunks attacks with pretty much ease, but when the Z-Fighter charges up to his Super Saiyan God form, well, you could probably guess what happens next. A battle ensues almost immediately, and Trunks even takes on Finn of all characters. So this version of Trunks really gives no cares in the world on who crosses his path or how many comes his way. They're going down either way. Trunks finally obtains his fully charged Ki Sword, which is definitely an upgrade from the sword that he had throughout the Z series, and completely slashes Mechikabura in half, eventually defeating the villain. It's really hard to say a moment of Trunks that's your favorite, but this is definitely one of the ones that's near the top. I mean, not only does he get a god form like Goku and Vegeta, but he is also able to finish off one of the strongest villains at the time, with a fully upgraded and newly improved sword. Yeah, that's insane. Number 7. Universe 7 vs. Kimoran. Super Dragon Ball Heroes is most notably known for its fusion characters, especially when it comes to their villains. Kimoran is one of those that you definitely won't forget either. He's created when characters Cayman and Orin fused together, sporting this alien-like figure with biogems surrounding his whole entire body. During the battle between the Universe 7 fighters and Kimoran, we see that he's able to overpower Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, which then prompts Vegeta to go a step higher, which prompts him to go into an even powerful version of Super Saiyan Blue, who finally defeats Kimoran with a final flash. Or so we thought anyways. You see, Kimoran up to that point wasn't the biggest threat to any of the Universe 7 fighters until Heart steps in and merges the Universe Seed with Kimoran, which subsequently powers him up to this almighty giant being that wreaks complete havoc for a brief period of time. Although he does some pretty sizable damage and even holds his own against Android 17 and Piccolo's attacks, he's ultimately no match for Vegeta and Goku, and eventually gets shattered into pieces, which unfortunately leads to his death of both Kamen and Orin. Although it wasn't the biggest within the series, seeing Kimoran fight against Super Saiyan Blue Goku showed some of the more memorable battle sequences yet. But we're just at the beginning, ladies and gentlemen, you haven't seen anything yet. Number 6. Golden Grade 8 Cumber. Cumber is an exclusively new character to the series, first appearing in the Prison Planet saga in the Dragon Ball Heroes manga. Being a henchman of Fu's, his demeanor and look kinda resembles a meaner version of Super Saiyan 3 Goku in a way. What's most interesting about this character though is that he's pretty much an evil Saiyan, as you can see from his tail. He has some pretty more memorable fight scenes too from the series as well. His evenly matched fight with Vegeta proved you do not want to mess with this character whatsoever. But it's his transformation into the Golden Grade 8 version of himself that proves this guy pretty much means business. And his business is to completely destroy everyone. He gets blasted by Golden Cooler, which does absolutely nothing. It even has a Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 20 from Super Saiyan Blue Goku, doesn't faze him whatsoever. He blocks numerous attempts from Goku using the Kamehameha, which proves to do absolutely nothing again. And it just seems like this villain is completely indestructible. It's only when Fu shows up that anyone's really able to do anything against the fighter. When Fu powers up his double sword, he's eventually able to subdue Cumber and cut off his tail. To everyone's surprise though, he's still able to power up after seemingly being defeated and continues fighting. Cumber is definitely a fighter that you just can't seem to lose or give in, and we'll definitely see more of him later on. Number 5. Super Saiyan 4 Zeno Vegeta. I'm actually surprised I'm putting this one in the middle of the list, but I kinda wanted to save more insane moments and fight appearances for the top spots. But this transformation is definitely something that won't be soon forgotten. We're first introduced to Zeno Vegeta within the Dark Emperor Saga manga, when he fights Demon God Majin Buu. He's able to overpower Buu after becoming Zeno Vegeta in the first place, with the help of the Bataro earrings from Konoha. During this fight, we get to see some of the more powerful attack moves come right at one another, that being Vegeto's Big Bang Flash and Demon God Majin Buu's Ill Flash. Unfortunately, the fight ends with Buu running away, so yeah, that kind of sucks. But if that fight alone wasn't enough to satisfy you, maybe his fight against Mechikabura will. Having fused this time by using the old Kai's Bataro earrings, Super Saiyan 4 Zeno Vegeta once again proves that he can take on the universe's toughest opponents. It's only because Vegeta and Goku fuse together and evenly match Mechikabura that gives Zeno Trunks enough time to charge his energy sword and eventually defeat the evildoer. Also within the Prison Planet saga, we see Zeno Vegeta fight Cumber, which is one of the best fights throughout the entire series. Yeah, Cumber shows up a lot. He's pretty much a badass, I try to tell you. But seeing a Super Saiyan 4 Zeno version of Vegeta might be one of the most badass fusions of all time. Number 4. Zeno Gohan vs. Shroom. Okay, hear me out. There's two reasons why this entry gets so high on this list. For one, Zeno Gohan vs. Shroom is a pretty good fight. But reason number 2 is that Gohan gets his own Super Saiyan 4 transformation. Yeah, Gohan gets to have one of his first main series highlights since his fight with Cell in the Dragon Ball Z series. So for starters, let's talk about the fight. Shroom is this demon god from the Dark Empire who actually looks pretty cool with his long scythe and villainous look. Also, make no mistake, this villain is no understatement just because he's fighting Gohan as well. Let's mention that Shroom was not only able to defeat evil demon Janemba, but he was also able to outdo Super Saiyan 4 Zeno Goku as well. Even though he was already weak from his previous fight, but oh well, he still beat him up. It counts for something. So how does this match against Super Saiyan 4 Gohan of all fighters go? Well, pretty much good actually, up until a surprise attack from a fighter relinquishes Gohan from being defeated. Shroom was able to outdo Zeno Gohan with pretty much no effort, but when Gohan turns into his Super Saiyan 4 transformation, that's when things become sort of even. It's only when Zeno Pan delivers a surprise attack to Shroom that gives Gohan the upper advantage and defeats him with a Kamehameha. Shroom would be later brought back by Mechikabura, but his fight with Zeno Gohan was definitely his most memorable fight known to date. Number 3. Everyone vs. Zamasu. This fight alone wasn't all that great, don't get me wrong. It's who was teaming that gave every fan chills. When Zamasu, as he usually does, outdoes most of everyone, it's then that Universe 7's team, specifically Goku, that teams up with Jiren and Hit of all characters to take out the villain. It's sort of a short moment, but the impact and the capabilities of these fighters coming together is quite remarkable. Not to mention Zamasu is sporting a new Meta Frieza-like look. So how was the fight sequence, you may ask? Well, as usual, Zamasu beats the living crap out of Zeno, Trunks, and Goku, but out of nowhere, Jiren comes in with a flying kick and saves the Saiyan from taking any more punishment. Soon after, Zamasu blocks most of Jiren's ki blast thrown his way, and just as Zamasu powers up a blast to potentially take out Jiren, Hit arrives out of nowhere. See, this is exactly why I love Dragon Ball Heroes. Think of everything you wanted to see within the canon series, and Dragon Ball Heroes does exactly that. These three insane fighters coming together to take out the main villain is just remarkable. But the way the fight ends is the most insane part of the situation. When it seems like the Universe 7 along with Jiren and Hit can't seemingly defeat Zamasu, the protagonist Hearts comes out of nowhere and encapsulates Zamasu in this square capsule-like move and completely destroys the fighter. With absolute ease, by the way, not really trying whatsoever. It's definitely a testament on how strong each new villain becomes within the series, and I'm sure we're going to see even stronger moving ahead. Number 2. Jiren's insane power. So at the end of the Dragon Ball Super series, that being specifically the Tournament of Power, one of the biggest questions when all the universes are brought back was, when will we see more Jiren and what would it be like? Well, thankfully fans wouldn't have to wait too long for Jiren to be beating up more villains, and just like in Super, Jiren's power is completely insane. So where to even begin with this one? Within the Universal Conflict Saga, we see Jiren square off against none other than Cumber of all villains, and Fuse Zamasu, and Kamen and Orin. Yeah, he takes on literally everyone. And it's more of a defensive front at first, with Jiren not really attacking to defeat the fellow villains, because out of nowhere Zeno Goku appears to aid the fighter. Fast forward a little bit throughout the manga, we see Jiren defeat Kimoran with absolute ease, just before Kimoran is able to defeat Destruction Mode Top. You heard that correctly, folks, Destruction Mode Top, who is undoubtedly 10 times stronger than what he was in Dragon Ball Super, and he's defeated by Kimoran. Kimoran is then defeated with minimal effort by Jiren. That's how insanely strong Jiren has become. But the most badass moment within the series is when Jiren, Gogeta, and Hit come together to form a combined attack that holds back Heart's God Meter to prevent Earth from being destroyed. Seeing these three insanely strong warriors coming together is like any Dragon Ball fan's dream. I think fans really appreciated Jiren's screen time within Heroes, and it's also pretty cool that most of the time he was aiding Goku in efforts to defeat the evil foes, so thankfully Jiren didn't turn out to be a villain. And number 1. Super Saiyan Blue Goku vs. Hearts. One could argue that the fight between Super Saiyan God Blue Goku vs. Super Saiyan 4 Goku would have been number 1, but it wasn't really that long, nor was it all that monumental, so we'll just keep it on our honorable mention to appease the other Dragon Ball Hero fans. Our number 1 spot undoubtedly has to go to the fight between Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Hearts. Hearts is probably the most popular villain from the series at this point, and his sole purpose is to destroy none other than Zeno of all characters, so he's really aiming for the top. Before the big battle though, Hearts was always that character that showed up before or after big name fights, and just saved villains or just became annoying really. He didn't really have so much of a huge impact at the time. Everyone knew he was kind of a big deal, but he didn't really do much. But for the finale of Dragon Ball Heroes, boy was it a big one. Hearts and his usual allies, that being either Cumber, Zamasu, or Kimoran, head to Universe 7 to finish off the Z-Fighters and destroy Earth. Hearts powers up to his Super Saiyan equivalent form and tosses Goku around like a ragdoll. Even Super Saiyan God Goku is no match for the villain, and it gets worse because Hearts slowly becomes more powerful as the fight goes along, because eventually he completes his Super Saiyan Seed, which makes him insanely powerful. When this happens, we see Hearts transform into his ultimate God Slayer form, which is this yellow tinted glow surrounding the fighter, mixed with the seed orb surrounding his body. He's able to take down Goku, Vegeta, Future Trunks, Android 17, Jiren, and Hit, all with a single blow. Yeah, he's a madhouse for sure. It's only when Gogeta powers up to his Super Saiyan Blue form that we really see Hearts have a sense of hopelessness and even ask Gogeta to join him in his efforts to defeat Zeno. Of course he declines, and with the efforts of Jiren and Hit adding their energy to Gogeta's ultimate Kamehameha, Hearts is finally defeated back to his normal state, and unfortunately for him, lands him straight back in the jail cell in hell, so we probably haven't seen the last of this fighter. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That was my top 10 Super Dragon Ball Heroes moments from the manga and anime series so far. And I know I left out quite a lot of moments, and I would have added them for the honorable mentions list, but I think that would be really good for you guys to decide. Because I know I left out a lot, but there's only 10 spots for this video, so bear with me. I know there was a lot to do with Janemba and Broly and other Goku, Vegeta, and Jiren moments, so if I left out anything or if you think my order should be changed, then leave a comment down below because I would love to hear you guys' response. This is Dragon Ball Media, and I will see you guys in the next video.